What's up, guys? My name's Casey. For those of you new to my channel, I do all things BMW, specifically currently about my G30 540. It's usually mods and fixes and hacks, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to try something a little different, and this is my first attempt at basically a vlog because I want to be able to connect with you guys more and also kind of show you how my mind works. And as you can see, I'm stuck in traffic, and traffic is a huge part of my life because I live in Los Angeles. And I figured, you know what, man? I do a lot of my thinking in traffic, and I'm just gonna talk. Something else I've been thinking about is this whole YouTube thing for me. I've started making videos probably, I think maybe 12 years ago, around there. And when I first started making videos, it was all camera gear. I worked for 10 years at a camera rental house in Glendale. And that's how I got into video production. Professionally, for a living, I direct and produce videos. And I actually do that as a full-time job. I work for a company and my job is to make videos. And when I first started doing YouTube, where I worked, they had like a studio. So I got to use this big all-white Psych studio. I got to shoot on C300s at the time. They were brand new. I shot dual cam on some of them. And you know, the trade-off was I just had to shout them out, but I'm so tight with them. Like I still go to that place. It's in Glendale. It's called EVS, Express Video Supply, but EVS now for short. They're amazing people. That's literally how I got my entire start in life. I accidentally got into production and I accidentally got into all of this stuff. But anyway, going back to YouTube, I started in camera gear, and I was like, I'm just gonna review the tools that I use. I was always passionate about reviewing things that I liked. I wasn't ever interested in getting sent things that I've never even heard of or seen and being like, hey, here's this thing, it sucks, or here's this thing, it's okay. I'm not passionate about that. What I am passionate about, very passionate about, is if I find something that I really love, I love talking about it, and I love spreading my viewpoint because I think it's truly gonna help people out. So I started off doing camera videos, and it petered out quickly because I just didn't know, like, I kind of stopped. Like the ideas stopped, you know, I wasn't sure of what to do next. And that has been my pitfall twice with starting a YouTube channel. Actually, now that I think of it, my very first video, I believe, was like a Bluetooth headphones review. I'm leaving all my old videos up just because for me, I think it's cool to see like the growth that I've had, especially where I'm at now. So I stopped doing those videos, and I didn't do YouTube, I think, for like years. It was like 5 years. And then I had an E39 M5, and I did one video with that car because there was this thing called the Mod 2, I believe, and it allowed you to have your mirrors fold up when you lock your car, which was a huge deal for the E39 M5. I think that was one of the first cars that actually had power folding mirrors, but they didn't fold when you lock the car. Well, you know, we all love when that shit happens, when you lock the car and unlock the car. It just looks slick. So I'm like, you know what? This thing's cool. Made a video for that. Then it was crickets. And then I wanted to buy a pair of Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. And this was about 1.5 years ago. And I am someone who shops obsessively. Like, I want to try every single option I can. So I ended up buying, I think, like 8 sets of headphones. And I finally found the pair that I think is the best, and they're still not perfect. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a video. Like this, I just felt inspired. And that's kind of what this is what this whole conversation is about, is inspiration and finding inspiration. And I felt inspired, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a YouTube video, and I made it, and it felt so good. It felt so good to create again. So after I released that, then I did one on this Klipsch Heritage speaker set that I had because there wasn't a lot of reviews on it. And I made, you know, maybe 3 or 4 videos. And I started to get I would always get emails when I started making videos from these random companies, like random, like, hey, we have this tripod, you want to try it? We have this, you want to try it? And like I told you guys earlier, I'm not interested in doing that because like I'm just not, you know, unless it's something cool, like if it's something that I actually wanted to get anyway, then awesome, sure. But so I ended up starting this like tech review niche, and I'm sure a lot of you that still follow me, if you're watching any of these videos, remember. And I just wasn't passionate about that either. I was passionate about the headphones because I had bought so many headphones, and I was like, dude, I know so much about these. I can comment on all of these, and I can really help someone because I've actually put them on my head and tried them all. I'm not some like audiophile reviewer, but I can add value. And that's the secret, is inspiration and adding value. So fast forward, and I had a C43 throughout this entire time, and I always like was contemplating making videos on that, but I realized with that car, I didn't have the drive and the passion that I did for that car nearly as much as I do for this G30. Because I found out after my Mercedes, that was my first Mercedes, I'm just such a BMW guy in general. And I've worked on cars my entire life. So fast forward, about 3 months ago, I traded that car in and I get this 540i. And I wasn't even planning on making videos at all, to be honest. But I already knew the mods I wanted to do. And when I bought the car, I knew I needed to fix the M Sport seats. And something just fucking clicked in my head. And I was like, dude, like, I'm gonna be doing this anyway. I'm gonna do all these mods, I'm gonna tune it, I'm gonna do all these things regardless. And that's when the light bulb went off for me. And that's when I shifted my entire YouTube channel. And since I've made the shift to doing content on my 540, it's been such an explosion. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a very small, humble channel, but I'm growing and you guys are engaging with me more, and it's been such an exciting thing. And I realize it's because I'm doing something, I'm making videos on something that I would be doing anyway. I'm not forcing any of this. Like, and the ideas are endless. Like, there's so many videos I have planned so far ahead in the future. And I'm also being pretty strategic with how I'm releasing videos, not for metrics or anything like that, but I know I need to do one thing before I release the next thing because I want to tie it into this thing. And it's just kind of created this whole entire new breath of creative life that I have, which has been such a blessing. And something that it's also truly helped out with is my 9-to-5 job. So I don't want to say where I work. I might at some point on this channel, but I'm not going to say where I work. But I will say that my job is awesome. I'm very blessed and fortunate that my 9-to-5, I get to create videos. I direct videos for my 9-to-5. And if I told most of you what I did, you'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But I wasn't appreciating it because I was putting everything into that job, into my job. Everything meaning I was looking at my job to fulfill me creatively and everything else. And when I was doing that, I found myself more disappointed than I was grateful because I'm not working for myself. I'm working for a company. I'm working for a big company and it's not mine. So I might have a bunch of ideas and I want to add value where I can, but they'll maybe accept 5% of my ideas, and it was all my ego. I would just kind of be like, poo, you know? And since starting my YouTube channel, or pivoting my YouTube channel, now I have my own thing that I can manage on the side while doing my full-time job. And it's completely altered my perception of my full-time job. Now I am enjoying it more than I ever have. And in fact, doing my own YouTube stuff has really helped me with what I'm doing professionally. And I'm saying all this because I think a lot of people want to become creators on YouTube. And again, I'm not speaking from someone who has thousands of followers. You know, as of making this video, I just have about over 2,400, which I'm so stoked on. But still, I think a lot of people want to become creators. And I've seen a lot of big YouTube channels say things like, oh, if I can do it, you can do it. And they talk about how they were at a job they hated and they left and now they're doing this. And that's all amazing. Like, I totally respect that and love that. If I could do this full time, you bet your ass I would absolutely love that. But where I'm at in my stage, I can't leave my job. And frankly, I don't have a desire to leave my job right now. And I guess my point in saying all this is, if you have a job that's paying your bills and you're able to self-sustain, and you have time on the weekends or time after work and you want to make videos, that's the grind. The grind is not just having to put out a video every week. You know, I'm fortunate enough, like I said earlier, I have ideas and I'm not overcomplicating my shoots. I'm wearing a POV camera while I'm installing things and just using whatever editing chops I have to put it together. But where the grind is finding a balance between your full-time job and making YouTube videos, and also the rest of your life. You know, I have a fiance, we're planning a wedding right now, and I'm also juggling that. And it might sound like a ton, and it is a lot, but it's not insane. And the new passion I have for making these YouTube videos has been such an inspiration just to keep going and keep grinding. And that truly is the grind, is you making the money you need to make, and then also putting that extra time you have into YouTube or into whatever you want to do, TikTok, whatever it is. And I don't mean to sound like reductive or trite or like, yeah, no shit, dude, but I'm just kind of expressing my mindset where I am right now and how thankful I am for all of that. So if you are in a job, even if you think it's a shitty job, like, I don't care where you're working, unless it's like a toxic environment, that's a whole different scenario. But if you have a job right now and you want to make videos or make content and you have time, if the job is allowing you to have any kind of time, then use it. Just start and use it. And also make sure whatever you're doing, in my opinion, you have to be passionate about it. You have to be able, you're already talking about it. When you're hanging out with your friends or anybody, you want to talk about the things you want to make videos about. Like, if anyone asks me about my car randomly and they're like, oh, what do you want to do next? I'll talk for hours about ideas that I have. And that's your clue, or your cue rather. That's like, oh shit, this is what I can do things on, you know, whatever it is. So anyway, I know this is my first attempt at a vlog, but I guess the moral of the story is just be humble, be thankful. If you embrace that mindset, and more importantly, just keep yourself accountable. If you're gonna make one video a week, make one video a week, no matter what. And also, don't expect the world. Like, it's gonna be a slow growing process. It's slow growing for me right now. But if you're humble and grateful and you find inspiration, those are the three key things to get going. And once you get going, like I've now made, I think 9 or maybe 10 videos, weekly. This is the most I've ever released consistently. I'm locked in. I'm so pumped, and I'm getting more comments from you guys. I'm getting more recommendations of what to do next from you guys. And it's so fulfilling, and it means so much to me. So that's about it. I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts while I'm in traffic. Granted, traffic wasn't actually that bad today, thank God. But in traffic on my way to the office right now for work, actually. And that's it. Hope you guys are well, and until next time, have a good one.